Hi everyone, thanks for coming to this talk. My name is Shourya Kelkar and today I'll be presenting you the key to unlocking the potential of Flutter sensors. So let me talk a little about myself. I am Shourya. I'm 14 years old and I live in Watford, London. I also go to CrossFit in school. Along with coding, playing badminton and chess are my hobbies. In my spare time, I got a really good opportunity to teach some underprivileged kids some basics of coding, which is pretty good. So first, I'm going to talk about a little about my journey to Flutter, like how I got to the stage, and then we'll continue. So about Flutter. So my starting point is around the age of 2 or 3, because at the age of 2 or 3, I started playing Lego, building Lego, and Lego is actually helping me to build my logic building foundation. Because in Lego, you follow a set of instructions, and by following a set of instructions, you get your end result of a ship or a car. But if you made some error in it, then you'll get an error. So it might break down, or you might get some wrong thing. Instead of ship, you might get a car, like that. So that's pretty similar to coding, because in coding, you've got the computer follows a set of instructions that you give it, and suppose you've made an error in the instructions, then you might get a syntax error. Or if you may have not done it right, you might get a logical error. So my next milestone is Scratch. So at the age of 7, we were introduced Scratch in school, and it was pretty fun because it was really interactive because of the blocks. You can play around with it, and in Scratch, I learned many key things about coding, like let's say about iterations, loops, conditional statements. These helped me along with my journey to understand coding much more better. Let me show you my favorite games in Scratch. So this is the shoot the monster game, in which the player has to try and shoot the monster. You can see here, and when it'll see, and try and kill it. And about this, you'll try and kill it, and you've got barriers and try and win. My next favorite game is the Flappy Bird, the traditional game which everyone loves. Well, in this game, I learned how to integrate the concept of velocity into my game. You can see here the background, the grass is moving at the same speed as the pipes, and they're like the pipes are just one sprite, and they're moving when I'm creating the color. They're moving at the same speed, which is like a parallax background. So next is my turning point. So after Scratch, I wanted to build real applications, and I went into MIT App Inventor. And MIT App Inventor is quite similar to Scratch. It's made by MIT. About MIT App Inventor, it was, instead of making animations, I got to make applications. So you can design your own app. You can design your app, then you can code the different components like a button, a text widget, anything like that. And it's not text-based coding, it's still block-based to make it much more fun and interactive. So that's my turning point. So let me show you my favorite apps in App Inventor. So I've made a French vocab helper, which is on Google Play Store, and I made it in year 7. And basically what it does is that it helps you to understand and learn French. It's got sound, everything on it. And my next one is a city one, in which you got different cities with a list, and then you get data from it. So you can see here, it's not working here. You can see it gives us pickup place and info, it gives you the info. And my French one is actually on Google Play Store. That's pretty cool. So how I stumbled onto Flutter. So I was making apps in App Inventor, but at the time I couldn't publish it onto iOS on the App Store because, App Inventor only worked for Android, and around 60% of my friends had Apple phones, so I couldn't show them what I've done, what I've developed. So then I was searching until I stumbled upon Flutter. And I tried it, and what? I stuck with it. So let me show you some apps I've made using Flutter. So this is the periodic helper, my first really good app, and because now I'm making games and apps in Flutter. I want to make them more useful to my day-to-day life. So then I made this periodic helper because in school we get the periodic table sheet, and that is pretty annoying because it's so small. You just try and find the right elements, and it doesn't give you all the data. In my app, I got a list of the groups. Press the group, you get the list of elements, the atomic number, the atomic mass. Press that, you get extra information. Let's say you got lithium. Then lithium may have, let's say, it reacts with water very vigorously, things like that. I also made it with Firebase, which is a plus point there. Another thing I made with Firebase and Flutter is this. The country to city app. We got 4 countries. And if you press into one of those countries, you get different cities in the country. And you get the data on the separate cities as well, which is pretty cool because it's not working. Yeah, and then annoying. I press it, then it goes into the different cities in the country, and then press into that. I get the data for that city. And my next is a game I've made by just using Flutter. I made this for the Vikings in Oslo, so Flutter Vikings. And here you can see the arrow trying to kill the Viking. Well, if it plays, it's loading. And the Viking is moving, and you can play this on mobile because I've got arrows which you press to move the Viking, which is pretty cool. See, so you can see here the bounce effect. It's moving. And I'll soon get killed. That's annoying, stop playing things. You can see here, it'll try and get killed. It's got a bounce effect as well, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, and then my Elf Dodger game. So this is a game which I made with Flame, and it's pretty cool because I incorporated nearly everything with Flame at the time it was released, and it's on the web, so I can show you right now. So why don't we have a person on the stage to play this game? Any volunteers? Right. It's gonna load.
It'll be embarrassing.
Okay, can play. So you go move left and right. Okay. The elf. There'll be gifts. You can collect that for points, and there'll be rocks falling down. Avoid that. You get 10 healths in play. Let's say if you get hit by a rock, let's say, then you get, and your health goes down as well.
Okay.
I can replay if you want, you can just restart. So. Yeah. You can play again. And you can start again, everything resets. My first ever really good game in Flame.
Nice one.
Yeah. You can get, wait. You get this Flame sticker for participating.
Oh, nice, thank you.
Stick it on your Windows or laptop or anything like that. Oh, here you go. And this is the GitHub link. Wait, it's a link for the game if you want to play it. And next is the billion-dollar question here. What are sensors? So when you think about sensors, what do you actually think about? You think about the 5 senses. You think about feel, what do you feel? What do you touch? What do you hear? What do you see? The 5 senses is what you think about when you sense something. Now let's talk about sensors in app development, where you've got a machine, a subsystem that detects changes in its environment and then sends that data to other electronics. Now, so let me give you some examples. You've got the accelerometer, the gyroscope, the magnetometer, which is the compass, the barometer, the light sensor, and the GPS. So the accelerometer detects the change in speed. The gyroscope detects the tilt. So if I tilt this phone, let's say, up, down, left, and right, that's the tilt, and that's where the gyroscope will change. The compass is the compass is a magnetometer, and it detects if, let's say, suppose you're in a stranded desert. You want to know where you are, north, south, west, and east. Now it doesn't give you true north like it gives not like true north. It gives you the magnetic north, which is different. And you got the light sensor. It detects the light intensity of the environment, and then you've got the GPS, which all know is global position unit, and tells you where you are on the world. So let me tell you about some industries that use sensors. So sensors can be used in the automobile industry, the games industry, healthcare industry, and the manufacturing industry. So sensors are a big thing in this healthcare industry, because suppose you want to check your heartbeat, or you want to check how many steps have you done in a day, then you can use sensors there. Now in the games industry, it's pretty big. It increases accessibility, because suppose you're playing a game called Asphalt, like Airborne, let's say. Then you're going to rotate your phone left and right. And when you rotate your phone left and right, it changes your car on the phone that you're playing on. So it's pretty cool. And that's what you can use gyroscope sensors for. The gyroscope sensors are actually on the controllers you have. So if you're like PS5 or anything like that, the controllers, when you move it or you flip it up, then it changes. Downstairs like a Nintendo Switch, you can play on it like that. So right now we are discussing about sensors in general. Now let's talk about sensors in Flutter, which is a thing right now. So types of sensors. You got the accelerometer, the magnetometer, the barometer, the photosensors, and the accelerometer. So the gyroscope can be used to make games, things like that. The magnetometer can be used to make a compass app, or anything like that. The barometer can be used to detect air pressure, the atmospheric pressure, and things like finding out the weather. So you want to see if it's rainy or not, you can use the barometer. The photosensor can be used, suppose you're in the sun and it's really sunny and you've got the brightness on full. Now you can't really see anything. If your brightness is on full, the sunlight's full, then you can't really see anything. So what you want to do is that you want it to decrease, and if it's in a dim position, you want to increase it. This is where you can use light sensors or photosensors, which will detect how much light intensity is around the environment, and then detect it and then change it accordingly. And the accelerometer. Have you ever been driving in your Lamborghini and what? You're going 70 miles per hour, but wait, the highway has a limit of 60 and you get a 70 quid speed ticket fine. Have you ever done that? Raise your hands. All right. So this is where you use accelerometer, because in the camera, the speed camera, it detects that how fast you're going between 2 points. If it's above a certain speed or a certain number, then wait, you're dead. So first is a gyroscope. It detects the orientation of the device. So if I show you here again, like that, like that's the orientation. So let me explain this very clearly. You're not actually making a sensor in this app. You're connecting the phone sensor to your application, which is pretty cool, because now suppose sometimes you might get an error running programs, because suppose if I run an accelerometer on my laptop, it might not work because the accelerometer might not actually be on the laptop. So you can't really get the data. So it would crash or just not work. So this is my game I have done with Flame, and it's pretty cool. This is the GitHub link, and it's made using gyroscope sensor. That's a Sensors Plus package, which connects your phone sensor to the app. So why don't we have another volunteer? Anyone to play the game? Yeah? I'm going to show them live so you can play on this phone, and I'll just go on the right zones. Okay, so now, sensors in. Let me just make this full. Here you go.
How it works?
So you tilt the phone like that and that, and it moves the car. And there's enemies.
Yeah, almost.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
That's my Siri. That's not.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it accelerates, or
It doesn't act. It just moves left and right
just
based on the
left and right?
tilting of your phone.
Yeah.
I actually tried this app on a VR headset and it actually worked. I put this into my VR headset and I move up and down. It changed left and right. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And let me show you the code for this now. So here we are. We got our sensors in flame. So in 4 lines of code, we are able to add this is the gyroscope events. And since this is flame, it has an update loop. So game loop, and it has an update function. So every frames per second, the game is checking whether the orientation has changed. If it has changed, then it will change the player X and correspond to player game. And 1, 2, 3 lines of code you've made and then put in a gyroscope sensor in your game. It's pretty cool. Bring it here. So next is the magnetometer. The magnetometer. So a magnetometer is an instrument for measuring the strength and sometimes the direction of magnetic fields. So as I was saying before, it doesn't tell you true north. It gives you the magnetic north because it only measures the North Pole. Around 3,000 years ago, I think, the North Pole and the South Pole were flipped. So if you use the app then you would get the North Pole and everything flipped because it goes for the magnetic north, not the true north. Because let me show you Earth quickly. Then, images. Then you can see here, that's true north. The magnetic north is this pole here, this north and south poles. So here I've used the Flutter compass package, which is really good because instead of you manually going and changing the values of, here I've done manually, right? Just events, listening it, and then changing the values, dividing it by such a number because it's too sensitive. Instead, there's a package, Flutter compass, which does it all for you. Now, the data you get for the sensors is a stream because it's got X, Y, and Z. And so in this stream, you get this. I've got a snapshot of this. And if you're getting a snapshot, then you would get the image, this image, would change its direction according to the snapshot of data. Let me show you a demo. So is anyone willing to come on the stage and try it out? Anyone? Yeah, okay. So here we are. That's it. So let me just activate visor again. Here we are, so you can try it out. It detects north, southwest. Move it and you get a sticker. There you go. Welcome. And let me just explain the code. So the flat compass, here we are. You can see here I have gotten the stream up here, and what I've done here is that for this code I've got a data in a direction, and then in the transform.rotate I have just rotated my image to the direction of the let's see, right? Oh, okay. So you can see here, can you see that? Here, can you see that? Yeah. So you can see here is that you've got this. Here's that, okay. So the direction here, and after you get the stream data, you get the heading of the data. What you're going to do here is that you're giving it to the transform.rotate. Here we are, and then setting the direction, and then using max values to transform it into a circle and then move it accordingly. So let's talk about next. So next is the barometer. The barometer detects the air pressure. So if you want to tell the weather, if you're going to your friend saying, hey, what's the weather? And you're like, okay, let me show you in this app. you got the weather, which is what you use for BBC and everything like that. The photo sensor is a photo detector that detects light intensity in the environment. Now, you could easily make an app for photo sensors and barometers in the same app because they use the same plugins. They use the environment sensors plugins. And in this environment sensors plugins, you ask permission for the phone to use it, and then after that, use a permission handle and everything else, and it does it for you. So another person on the stage? Yeah. Ooh, okay. Here we are. You have your phone? You have your phone?
No, I don't have my
Okay,
phone.
right. So you got this. You can see the light intensity increasing, decreasing. Let me just make this full screen. And if you put your hand over it, decreases it. And then if you light it. Does anyone have some torch or something? Yeah. Very short torch. Let me show you what happens. So you get the number increases potentially. And if you take it away, then it decreases. So that is light intense. Detects light intense. Oh wait, here you go.
Thank you.
Welcome. And yeah. So for this code, I have here we are. So we're getting this in a stream, and then what we're doing is, yeah. You're getting it in data as a stream, and then if this light is available, because sometimes if I run this on my Mac, I don't have a photo sensor on my Mac, or I don't think I do, and it wouldn't work because it doesn't have the sensor said before. So check if this light is available. If it is, then we get the data from the snapshot, and then just predict the data up to 2 digits. We can see here the 2 digits. So next is accelerometers. So what are accelerometers? And what is the difference from accelerometers and gyroscopes? So an accelerometer is a device that detects the difference in speed and measures the vibration or the speed. So have you ever been playing games that vibrate, or when you vibrate too much, then it will do something? That is where you can use accelerometers. Now, the difference between accelerometers and gyroscopes is that the gyroscopes measures the angular orientation, while the accelerometer measures the axis orientation. So for the accelerometers, if you're going like this fast like a car, that would change it. But for a gyroscope, you need to tilt it to make it work. And there are 2 types of accelerometers. You can use this. This is a type of plugin. I think it was the Motion Sensors plugin. You can use Sensors Plus as well, because in Sensors Plus there are 2 types of accelerometers. You've got the user accelerometer for your day-to-day lives, and the normal accelerometer. So the user accelerometer uses to take away gravity, because gravity is working on you. You have a force. The gravity is working force on you, so you're always going to have some type of acceleration. So to take that amount away from you, you would have user accelerometer used in your day-to-day life, while accelerometer can be used. So if you want gravity to be there. This is what I've done. It's listening for the subscription. Here we are. If it is there, then return nothing. You see here. And let's have another person. I think it's last one, if you want. And I can. So for this, I'm not actually coding it. I'm just displaying it on the screen. So you can see here, start and stop. And then it shows you the data if you move it.
Oh yeah, right. This is
And then you stop it, then it stops at that. Just shows the accelerometer. That's what
nice.
And then
Oh, I want the sticker too.
And so what's the next step? What would I want to achieve with doing Flutter sensors? So I want to achieve this. So everyone knows the Vision Pro made by Apple. I want to achieve this in Flutter. And I want your help to do it, make it reality. So let me show you this video.
And Apple delivered. The Vision Pro is Apple's first foray into immersive products. For years, Apple has been supporting AR applications and features for a long time. making the transition tested and natural for the firm. Via iPhone applications such as Pokemon, Go, Snapchat, and Instagram, Apple device adopters can already access AR Light features like branded filters. In addition to its groundbreaking features, the Vision Pro ensures seamless integration with the Apple ecosystem, enhancing productivity and entertainment experiences for users. However, with Vision Pro, Apple audiences can now experience a fully immersive spatial operating system OS that leverage.
So this is what I want to achieve because it's so cool. You put on the headset and you can see what's happening in surroundings and what's happening inside the headset. It uses sensors because under the Vision Pro, the headset, you can move your hands and move the things on the screen of your Vision Pro. So that's something I want to do. I'd like to say thank you to Simon and Lucas for helping me along with my Flutter journey and bringing me here today. Thank you. I also want to say thank you to the FlutterCon team because they've given me this chance to present you the key, the special golden key to unlocking the chest, which opens the treasure of Flutter sensors. Thank you.